Hello and welcome to the first phase of the IPR in TracDat, your data entry points. We're going to go over phase 1, which is entering your narrative and praise. Let's just start right here at the vvc.edu webpage, and then we'll navigate over to My VVC. Of course, you'll have to put your credentials in and the two-factor authentication, right, to choose. Okay, now we've made it to My VVC. As you can see on my layout, the TracDat and SharePoint are at the top left. The reason is because I've actually moved them up there. On your screen, they will probably be in alphabetical order, but all you have to do is click and drag, and you can move them to the top left. It's great to do that with things that you use a lot, so you don't have to spend a lot of time searching for them. Okay, so let's start out with TracDat. We're going to click right there. Again, I'll enter my credentials once again. There we go. Okay, so this is the SharePoint TracDat screen. So this is the TracDat viewed from VVC's SharePoint. There is another entry point into TracDat, but it's not as comprehensive. It doesn't have the second phase, which is data assessment. So we'll just use this for all of our training purposes. Now at the top of the screen, you'll see a link that says TracDat-Planning Point. So we'll go ahead and click that, and that is how we're going to get into both phase 1, the narrative praise, and phase 3, which is the planning and augmentation. Okay, once again, entering more credentials here. There we go. Okay, so this is what you will see when it first comes up. In this case, it has taken me to the program annual planning and augmentation, which is phase 3. That's not where we want to go, so we're going to go ahead and choose to go back to program review, choose our division, choose the program, and there we are. Okay, so this is phase 1. You should see at the top, program review, your division, and then your program. Okay? It also comes up with your data reporting summary. We're not going to be using that right now, but let's just click over on the left. We'll click Praise Report, and underneath that, we'll click Praise Comprehensive Narrative. Okay, so there we go. We can see that my 2020 to 23 cycle has already been created, which is great. Now, if yours comes up and this little blue gear with the praise cycle for the current year is not visible, that means you haven't created it yet. And the way you're going to create it is click on this little green button at the top right, Add Praise Cycle. And you'll have to go down here and select the cycle, and it ends in 2020. It's the first option, and then you're going to click Save and then Return. And after you do that, you will see now that you have created the 2020 to 23 cycle for 2020. Okay, and now what are you going to do? You're going to go ahead and start working on it. Now, if you want to see how much you've entered so far, you just click this little drop down right here. And you can see, oh wow, we've entered the first paragraph, but the rest of it has not been entered. And you can also, by the way, if it seems like your program has disappeared and you know you entered it, you can click this little down arrow and your cycle will appear there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started entering our responses. Now, as you've seen from the IPR Canvas training, you can use a worksheet that I have prepared for you to start compiling your responses and composing your paragraphs and what you plan to say if you need to gather your data, gather your thoughts, and then you're ready to go ahead and enter. Alternately, if you don't want to plan ahead, you can just go ahead and enter it right into TracDat as is. So let's look at how to do that. Over on the right hand side, we're going to click Edit Praise Cycle. It's a little icon with a blank piece of paper and a pen. So we'll click that. And here we are. So again, we are in this cycle. We're not going to change that, but we will enter our program and or department mission here. Next is we will view the college vision and mission. Although we're not actually going to enter anything in those fields, they're just for your viewing availability. Also, if you go to the worksheet that I've prepared for you, the Microsoft Word document, you can see all of these little help paragraphs will be in there too, the different tips and things like that. This is actually a link where it says link to college EMP document. It actually gives you the website if you'd like to download that and view your program in the current EMP document. That can be some good information to harvest and bring to this report. Okay, so the first question after you enter your mission is program and our department mission align with college mission, vision, and mission? Of course, that will be yes, correct. And the next one is your program and our department contribution to District Goal 1. So you can go ahead and put your cursor in there and it will pop up with the District Goal 1 and some different hints and tips to be able to formulate your response to this. And again, this is all in Microsoft Word worksheet, or you can also click right here to see that again. And then to get rid of these little pop-up tips, you can just click the X in the purple boxes. Okay, so you're going to enter that and you're done with section 1. Then you'll go through section 2, which is program and our department quality, assessment, and compliance with accreditation standards. You'll talk about your program trends and review right there, your SLO assessment, your PLO assessment, curriculum, strategic enrollment management, professional development, extenuating and our emergent factors. Of course, you'll be talking about COVID-19 in this response paragraph and how it has affected your program. Then you'll see a new area, institutional set standards for programs offering a degree or certificate. Okay, so it'll go through your student course completion. This one asks about your degree completion, certificate, transfer, licensure pass rate, job placement. Okay, now hopefully you have all of these metrics available, but if you do not, please reach out. I will try to help find whatever data that you need to be able to complete these. Or if it does not apply to you, you can just write NA. Or if for some reason the data is not available, you can just reply with data not available. Okay. Next we go down to section 3, which is program and or department needs and logistics. Here's where you talk about your faculty staffing needs and number of full-time faculty, part-time faculty. Is that sufficient? Do you have any goals needed in this area? What about your facilities, which we know a lot of that changed since COVID-19 and therefore your needs may have changed, at least temporarily. But don't forget this is a 4-year cycle, so you will need to talk about your long-term needs as well. Technology and technical infrastructure needs. And then something related, which is distance, online, and or remote learning needs. And then, of course, other. Other would be something that's not included above, such as classified staff. Now, when you get down to the end here, you actually are done. Yay! So what you're going to need to do is enter your name here in the signature section that you completed the report. Enter your title and today's date. And then you're going to save and return. Actually, I should have mentioned that earlier, but after you enter each response, you should click save. The reason is because if your computer crashes, you don't want to lose all the information you've been entering. So go ahead and remember to save after each entry. Okay, and then if you click return, and you'll see everything that you've entered is now in a lighter blue color over on the right hand side. Again, you can expand and collapse to see your responses. If you want to edit it, change again, you just go back in here, edit praise cycle, and you can add, edit, modify as needed. Okay, when you finish that, you are done with phase 1, which is the narrative praise section of the IPR. And you're ready to move on to phase 2, data assessment, and phase 3, planning and augmentation. Okay, great job. We'll see you at the next phase. Thanks, everybody.